Hi class, this is Jill Mac. I'm just reminding you that you can give me a call if you don't understand anything in this video, that my website is JilMac.com, and that if you're in a training video with me, that the recordings are as if we are on a field trip. So that means that the names and what you say and type and videos are just all part of the public record. Thank you very much. So welcome to my class. All of my classes run the same, whether it's a Community College of Vermont class or whether it's a Wyndham Regional Career Center class or one-on-one or math tutoring or anything like that. Basically, my website, JilMac.com, and that's Jill with one L, brings you to my website. And from there, any workshop or class that I'm doing, if you click on this workshops and classes, it will bring you to all of the classes that I'm teaching. The most current classes are in the top, and this class happens to be for web development. If you came in a different semester when I wasn't teaching web development that semester, then you might have to scroll down, and I'm just going to scroll down through the different classes. You can always collapse a class or expand it. In this case, we're doing web development. So if you click on the web development link, you're going to come up to the main web development page. That's just going to list basically the same thing that the CCV site did, that the 13 objectives for the class. You're going to see that I'm teaching 2 classes. Sometimes I teach 2 or 3. So the numbering system for your class, this happens to be an online class where we see CIS, which is Computer Information Systems. It will tell you the number. In this case, web development is 1151. And then it will say V0. This is Vermont O, which is actually an O, not a 0, for online. I'm also teaching this class with VS, which happens to be the Springfield complex. And then it will give you a number after that. Is this the first of the online classes or the second or the third? And the same is true with on-ground classes. So now I'm going to bring you up, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about our textbook. So here is our textbook page. This is a picture of our textbook. We're using HTML and CSS to kind of teach you that the web is made up of code, and that code is HTML and CSS. There's lots of other programming languages that may or may not go along with it, but this is kind of the basis for the web development. So we use this book, and if you click on this link, which is a link out to the Amazon site, you can purchase this book through Amazon as well as through the community college. You can also look inside. For the students that may not have gotten the book yet, the look inside option is really helpful because you can go through and basically look at this book. And there's quite a bit of this book out there because it's been out for a while. And I tend to use those types of books so that students know that they can go out and buy a book pretty inexpensively. Here we have that there are used ones out there from $21. You can look through a lot of the pages so that if you haven't purchased the book yet, much of the book is here. It doesn't guarantee that it's all going to be there. We also have the book in Kindle Format for those who like Kindle Format, and for that the Kindle edition is only $17. So it's over here for those Amazon people. Now, of course, if you buy through Amazon, you're not going to be able to get reimbursed for your financial aid. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of students will go through the books and purchase their books through the college so that they can incorporate it into their financial aid. But in my case, a lot of students are taking my classes that may or may not even qualify for financial aid or may have used it up in previous years and are coming back for refreshers. And so I like to be able to have it through Amazon. So when you're here, we're going to go back now because I showed you how you can look through it. But there's also the textbook website that I like textbooks that also have an accompanying website. So if we click on this one to go out to the textbooks website, you can see that there are code examples, HTML reference, CSS reference, and we even have an errata. An errata is a page that tells you if there's any errors in the textbook. And in our case, there is one on a particular page, figure E, and this tells you what the correction is. So anytime that you have a question about, is this textbook right? You can go out to the errata page. Now notice how if something that you found is not there, you can email Peach Pit and you can tell them that you found an error. So let's look at the code examples. One of the nice things about code examples is that we can run them from here. So if you're on a tablet or a phone and you want to look through the book or see how a particular piece of code works, you can run it directly from Chapter 1 or Chapter 3. So let's go into Chapter 1. Chapter 1 shows you the basic HTML pages, and here, if we click on this example, which is on page 4, it's going to show you there's no content on that page. It brings up a web page. It doesn't bring up any errors, but there's no content. Here in figure C, which was on page 6, we're going to see a basic HTML page, and this one has content. This happens to be blue flags, and it has a little bit of text down at the bottom of this web page. I'll blow up my web pages a little bit more so you can see. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you're running it from any of the chapters. And here we can look at each of our chapters and we can look at these codes. Like notice Chapter 2 doesn't have any examples. We can also download all of the examples. So if we click on this download code, you're going to see down at the bottom left-hand corner that this is going to download a big zip file, and this is zip. So it's going to download a zip file. Now if you're in Windows, it will unzip it pretty much automatically. If you're on a Mac, it should also be able to unzip it automatically. And if you have any problems with that, just give me a call and we'll work through it. So I have about 8 seconds left, and my code is going to be down on my PC. 2, 1, and ready. So now that we have this, we can double click on this zip file, and you can see all the different chapters. We have 20 chapters, and then we have a CSS folder, an image folder, a JavaScript folder, and a basic index page. So we would like to extract these files, and I'd like to extract the files, and it's going to extract them, and I want to put it in my computer, and I put things on my C drive, and I put these in my CCV folder, and inside of my CCV folder I have a website. Because I teach this multiple times, I am going to extract it. And I want to extract it, and I want to make a new folder in my class folder. And I'm going to call this Textbook Edition 8. A-D-I-T-I-O-N 8. And I'll just say examples. So now I have created a folder, and I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to click the extract button. And so it's going to extract those. There's 533 items for 17.7 megabytes, and it's going to extract these files, and it's going to put them, I have a big long path because I have lots of folders, and it's going to put them in there. So if I go into Chapter 1 and I look at it, I see all of these. And you can see that it's an HTML file or it's a JPEG. Here's that JPEG blue flags. If I were to double click on this, it would load up whatever my picture gallery is or whatever my photo editor is, and it would display that image. If I click on this first one, Basic HTML page, if I click on that, it's going to open it in whatever my default editor is. And next week we're going to be talking about editors. Right now, this one shows me, let's see if I can view, can I make this any bigger? I'll have to look on that. It shows you the HTML code, and this is the code that makes the web run. And we're going to start out with that, kind of looking at that. And so whatever your default editor is what's going to pull it up. And this is what that text should look like. And don't get excited about it. We're just kind of downloading it and looking at it and just seeing that it's there. Okay. So that's about our textbook. So that's all of the information about our textbook. Now if we go back to JilMac.com, I want to show you the weekly handout. So I think I'll end it there and I'll start another one. But this is how we go to JilMac.com and go into our class and look at our textbook, and how we look at the textbook and how we download the examples onto our computers. And we'll continue on with the next. So if you have any problems, give me a call. And have fun, guys. Remember, breathe. Deep, cleansing breath helps you get oxygen to the brain, and that really helps your brain work better. And I will talk to you in the next video.